Good morning, everybody. This is the QOL pre-market analysis for Wednesday, August 19th. Welcome. Let's go over economic data. And before we start, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel so you can get future updates if I make any videos and such. And hit that thumbs up button, like this video for me. I appreciate that. What we have today, we've got crude oil inventories at 9:30, but the big event today is FOMC meeting minutes, rather. And then also they stuck in here, President Trump is speaking at 1:30. So between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, I expect some volatility to the market. So hopefully you're not trading by then. Tomorrow we have Philly Fed manufacturing unemployment claims at 7:30 tomorrow. And then I think that's pretty much about it for the week. So today's the big day. So after today, maybe we get some balance here. Okay, let's get into things right now. We'll start off with what we typically start off with. We'll start off with the VIX. See what the volatility index is doing for us. We have some gap ups going on here. I didn't even put them on the charts right now. So the VIX was elevated the last few days. But we are still below the 20-day moving average at 1635. And the 50 at 1681. So that's good. So, you are still looking for pop and phase. Whenever you're below the moving averages on the downside, that means that you have more downside. And when it comes to the VIX, it's good. You want the downside because it measures the volatility to the marketplace. So little stability for the time being. However, keep in mind, we do have these gap downs here, one from April 8th at 25.74. And then the last one we have here from March 30th at $30.34. That was the beginning of this tenacious rally at the end of March, right? Okay, so let's get into oil. Oil's been elevated all week. Approaching these gap downs here, $90.40 a barrel from July 24th. And then $96.99 gap down from May 22nd. So I would not be surprised if we pop up and we touch those levels. However, we do have this little tiny gap up here at $71.63 a barrel from July 10th. So that's something to keep in mind. But pay attention to these moving averages. We are above the 200, the 50, and the 20. And the 20 sitting at $82.51 a barrel. 50 is at $79.15 a barrel, and $77.14 is the 200. So we are above these moving averages. So that means that oil seems to be trending higher, and until you get below those moving averages, I would say that oil is going to continue to move upward. Okay, let's get over to the ES. The ES, pulling back a little bit, these last several days, nothing too earth-shattering. I would like to see a pullback here to the 76.32 level. That'd be a pretty decent level. It is just below the 20-day moving average, sitting at 76.42. So you got to watch those levels right there. And then if you lose 76.32 level, you have a 75.40 level. But keep in mind, if we do approach those levels here, you're going to be losing the 20 and the 50-day moving average. 20 is sitting at 76.46 and change. The 50 is sitting at 75.67.43 and change. So, but also keep in mind, we do have an open point of control down here at 74.09.76. But also keep in mind, we do have an open point of control here from, let me just get rid of this here. Move that. From the 18th. So that's 77.94. So we are above the moving averages. So you're looking for, the market to pull back longs, right? But that being said, you could get a pop and fade off of these levels as well. So I would say for today, got to break and hold above 77.24.25. If you hold that, then you can push higher, but it is a low here. So I would anticipate if you are below this, that you could get a little more flush in the marketplace, because we have a huge speed zone here right now that we're in from the beginning of August. So very easily could flush out all the way back down here to this previous all-time high at 76.32.25. Looking at the SPY is going to be pretty similar. Same thing, your line in the sand today is 767.46. We are above it right now, so as long as we're above that low, you could push higher. We do have, I'm sorry for this mess here. Let me get rid of this one here. Move that. We do have an open point of control at 773.34. There's also a low here sitting at 772.30 from Monday. So you could get a pop and fade in there, but keep in mind we are above the moving averages here. Your 20 is sitting at 758.68. Your 50 is sitting at 749.84. We do have a little tiny gap down here. We have an open point of control at 746.43 as well. So if you're a longer term trader and you're just patient here and you pull down to these levels, this is a level that I would like for a long. And actually before that, 760.40 would be a pretty decent level too. We're looking at a 4-hour chart, by the way. So, you know, this is not a bad level, but keep in mind, here's your speed zone right here, right? And we're in it, you know, kind of try to get into it a little bit yesterday after post market. And right now we're pushing a little higher right now. So could be some volatility today. We'll see what the body language is with Kevin Warsh and see what he has to say as far as rates are concerned. Let's go over to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq, same thing. Respecting the 50-day moving average right now, the 50 is sitting right here at 29,494. I would say got to get above that 29,783, right, in order to continue to push higher. You have a speed zone here again. Tried to dip below it here last week or 2 weeks ago, and it popped up above it right now. So I think that you're going to have to, this low right here from the 11th, that's probably going to be your line, and it's actually the 50-day moving average. So as long as you hold the 50-day moving average, you can continue to push higher. You know, as you have a speed zone right here, you also have some speed zones over here on the upside, which is positive, right? Do have an open point of control up there at 30,208. So that's good. I'd like to have those point of controls open above us, right? So that means the market can push higher there, right? So just watch, I would say this is probably going to be a big level, 29,352.50. If you pull back down here, it's a break and retest of that level. You can see how it's supported right here on the 6th. So pull back here, watch how the price action is, and then maybe you push a little higher there. Go over to the Qs. Ooh, wrong one. Qs. Qs, same thing. We have a fill point of control down here at 700. I like that level if the market flushes down here, but we are holding the 50. The 50 sitting at 712. So as long as you're above 712, I'd like us to push higher. This big selling right here with no buyers in this, it's a 4-hour. Let me break it down to 15-minute, maybe it'll look a little better for us. So same thing here. The market pushed up to these levels and it rejected them yesterday. Very wicky in the pre-market yesterday. Nothing that you want to be involved with. We see we're pushing higher right now. So I think as long as you're above 719.32 when the market opens, you could push into the 723.50, possibly get some pushback and some headwinds up there. If the market does flush a little bit today and we lose the pre-market low at 714, I think it could flush all the way down here to the 20, sitting at 706.24. Below that 706.24, I already went over that point of control, 723. That was already filled. And then the 100-day moving average is sitting at 690.40, right? But we are above the 20, above the 50. And, if you can break through these levels here, these really tiny highs of from July 2nd all the way through August 7th, if you can pop through there, then I think you can make your way back to the all-time highs. Let's see what kind of momentum the market gives us today. Okay, let's get into the Mag 7. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button for me, like this video. So let's go. We have NVIDIA here we're looking at here. And line in the sand today, got to get above 221.60. If you hold that, then you can push into the 224 level. This little choppiness right here, I think it's still selling off a little bit. So I would not mind more of a flush, maybe down here to the 20 at 212.10. That would be a decent level, or these November highs 211.34 from last year. Below that, though, if you do touch this level here, you got to pay attention to the 20. See how it responds there. If you flush through it pretty hard, this 20 that is now support will become resistance, and then you'll probably flush on down here to the 50 at 206.94, or the 100 at sitting at 205.19. On the upside, to really be confident with NVIDIA to continue to push higher, you got to get above 224.76. If you get above that, then you possibly could push into the June highs at 235 even. But today it could be a little chop, especially before the FOMC minutes. Okay, let's go over to, what are we going to do? Let's do Apple. Apple held our 301.97 level. That's the level that we were talking about last week. I would say in order to continue to get the upside, you're probably going to have to get through yesterday's highs, 311.49. If you get through that, then you could push back up into the 20 at 316.49. So pay attention. We're below the 20-day moving average, but we're kind of, we're in between levels here. So we're in between the 100, which is at 295.18, and the 20 at 316.49. I know that's a big range, but it's something to keep in mind. So you're above the 100, and the 200 is sitting way down here at 280.87, right? So those levels, in order to really be confident with Apple to continue to push higher, at 317.40 is going to be a big level to get through. If you can get through there, then you can continue to push higher and get to that 323.45 level. Downside today, gotta hold this 305.96. If you lose that, then we're coming back down here to this Fibonacci level that I have here at 301.97 that I was speaking about last week. That's going to be a big level to hold. If you don't hold that level, then I think we flushed it to 295.18. Okay, let's get into Meta. Meta's in the doghouse here. So we had this point of control we've been talking about for the last week and a half or so at 533.14, and we are almost at that level right now. So I mean, if you look back, we started talking about this level. We started talking about this level over here. Where were we here? Last week. And I said this open point of control level was a big level you got to pay attention to. And ever since then, we started talking about it. It's been stair-stepping lower. So 533.14, that could be your first target. If you lose that, then we can come and possibly get down to that gap up at 500 and some change from April 22nd. So that would, it looks like it's trying to get to that target right now. I think that the trial that's going on with Meta is impacting the, they're putting them in the penalty box right now until it's over. I mean, I can't even tell you how many lawsuits that these companies have had through the years. They're just a big target. They've got too much money. And, when you have that kind of money, you're a target. So they'll probably lose, pay a fine, and then they'll get back to doing what they normally do, which is making money here. So, okay, let's get over to Google. Google's sloppy as well. So, still holding this trend line here, this upper end regressional trend line at 335.82. Below that, we have a 333.69 level. It's a June monthly low. That's going to be a big level if we do flush there to hold that level. If we lose that level, then I think we come into this 200-day moving average at 331.20, and then possibly this weekly high, 330.47. So we're below the 100. Sitting at the 100, sitting at 351.61, and at the 50-day is sitting at 351.26. So we're below all of our moving averages. So what do we say when we're below our moving averages? You're not looking long. You're looking for pop and fades, right? So the market pushes up to these certain levels, and then get some resistance and see what the kind of price action happens for you to take your trade on the downside. Okay, Amazon holding the 20. 20 is sitting at 257.66. In order to really get a zoom in Amazon, got to get above 262.07. And then this speed zone right here could probably retrace that pretty quickly. And then if you get above that, then you can start pushing your way towards the 270.73. If we lose this July 2nd high, July 16th high, sitting at about 258.05. I think the 20 is a no-brainer at 257.68. But if you lose that, 255.19 is a low from May. And then below that, if you flush out through that, then 249.87 is your 100-day, and it's actually sitting just above the 50, which is sitting at 248.59. So a flush down to that level would not be bad either. But big speed zone you got to keep an eye on over here. So if you can get above 262.07. I think you can retrace this entire speed zone. Okay, let's get over to Microsoft. Microsoft still flushing down right now on Microsoft, but we are above the 20-day, sitting at 458.34. Would not be a bad pullback there. We do have this June high at 466.84. It's also a gap up, so would not be surprised if we do flush to those levels. If we do flush those levels to close out and do some good housekeeping. But the same thing that we're talking about here, we have a speed zone up here. So I would say Your speed zone is probably going to start, not there, right there. So 485.12, if you can get above a push and hold above 485.12, I think you can push into 493.50, which is a December 2025 high. But you possibly could flush down here to the 466.84 level first, and then if you lose that level, which is the gap up, you come down here to the 20, which is 458.34. Okay, have I missed anything here? SpaceX. SpaceX have an open point of control above us now, 147.78. Not to mention all these other point of controls that we have up here from the first week of trade at 196.90 is your upside. On the downside, though, however, we do have a 129.22 open point of control from August 7th. That'll be important to hold. So if the market does flush and you lose yesterday's low, 139.32, I think you come back down here to 135, no problem. And then the 135, if you lose that 129.22, comes into play, but it is above the 20-day moving average at 124.84. So pullback longs, not a bad play for SpaceX today. But that being said, you could get a little pop and fade too, right? You pop into this 147.78 or this IPO open at 150. You can see how it respected that on the 17th, where the market just popped up to that level and respected it so far. So that's a level to pay attention to on the upside over there. So I would say for today, got to hold the lows from yesterday. If you lose the lows from yesterday, 139.41, you flush down to 135 and maybe the 129.22. Okay, let's get over to Tesla. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video. Let me get a better chart for Tesla here. That's not what I'm looking for either. Where's my Tesla chart? Okay. Yeah, this one will do. Tesla, really up and down yesterday. That's the 30. Let's look at the 15. Let's get rid of this. So really chopping around right now. I would say on Tesla, we are above the 20, which is positive, 325.52. So it is kind of holding itself. We started to get into this speed zone here on Friday. Thought we were going to continue to push higher. We didn't quite get there yet. So I would say line in the sand in order to really get start moving into that speed zone, 347.17. Got to get above that. And then if you get above that, then I think we're pushing that 362.64 level. Right now, it's looking like it's doing a little consolidating. So I would say this 333.63, got to hold that level today. If you lose that level, then I think we could flush the 326.15 level, which is right at the 20-day moving average. And then below that, we do have an open point of control from the 6th of August at 318.91. So point of controls, they fill, but maybe not right away. So keep in mind, we still have something below us at 318.91 if the market does flush. So it is, you got to take your profits on Tesla these days, in and out. We are below the 50-day moving average, sitting at 368.42. So I do like, if we do get in the speed zone, to pop up into the 362 to 368 level before you get some resistance, because we had that gap down at 372.90 from July 22nd, which was right after earnings for Microsoft here. So, but we do have some decent levels here of support if the market does flush. So just put these levels on your charts and then trade them for during your scalping, right? Okay, as far as today, we're going to start with today's expiration date, which is the 19th, and I'm going to have the 340 calls. Actually, I'm going to change this because we are 0 DT. So I'm going to trade the 0 DTs days till expiration, the first 15, 30 minutes of the day. So I'm going to have the 335 calls. You can see where they closed at $4.15, but they are expiring today. So that means that these premiums become volatile. So it's not a slow moving premium. So, but I will trade it early in the morning. And then I'm going to have the 335 puts, right? So it's kind of right at the money. The puts are out of the money. The calls are in the money right now. So that's why this premium is at $4.15. It'll probably open up in the $4 range. I don't anticipate it to open up that much higher unless you really get a big market push. And then this premium here of 335, it'll probably start out maybe high ones. I may even change this to the 340s, but we'll see. The 340s, let's take a look at where the 340s closed. I'm sure much higher. Yeah, so they open at $5. So we can cheapen this a little bit by going to 335, and then it's down at $2.21. And when I say cheapen it, it means that your cost to get into the trade. So right now, you're getting a little push in the market, and we'll see. You know, right now let's take a look at the broader markets. Broader markets are getting a nice push here. So let's go. Nice pre-market push right now, but you've had this open point of control, so I would not be surprised if that point of control gets nailed before the market opens. 774.94, 77.94 and 47 cents. Got to watch that level. Let's take a look at the rest of them. Nasdaq's pushing higher. Everything's pushing higher right now, but you can see these point of controls that we've had on the chart. 773 on the SPY. It's making its way there. And then do we have any point of controls here? We have a point of control of 30,208.56. That's a pretty big move on the Nasdaq. So if you do get that push, that'll be great. So a little pre-market push before the FOMC meetings, right? Okay, that's going to be it for today. And before I go, I'll leave you with go to our website, QOLtrading.com. Put your name, email address in here so you can get on our subscription mailing list for our newsletters that we put out every Sunday. And in the newsletter, we go over market review of the week and what's to expect in the week ahead. So aside from that, I'll leave you there. Also, you can join our Discord community and join our trade desk by clicking these links up here. It'll bring you to your sign-in page, and the sign-in page. Oh, where are we at? Sign-in page is pretty explanatory. You can join for free. You can join our trade room, and you can join and you can get our QOL opening range break scalper, which the scalper, let's just show us what we got here on the scalping. Scalping worked beautiful yesterday, right? I haven't gone over this in a while, but here's what we built. And I don't write any of this. This is all done automatically. So we are looking at a 5-minute range from yesterday. So you can see we broke the range yesterday here at 334.57. Your first price target here was 338. Your second price target here was 339. So you would have had a really decent move. Your day would have been done within the first 10 minutes of the day. All right. So beautiful stuff. It tells you when to get into your trades. Tells you it's not telling you exactly when to get in the trades. It's telling you, okay, the market is telling you could get into a trade. You have to make that decision for yourself. Okay. And then in the lower right-hand corner, instead of you measuring over here with your mouse, you can go down here and it's spelled out for you. It gives you the opening range high. Yesterday was 334.65. The low was 331.15. It gives you the mid range at 332.90. And then it gives you the total range of $3.50, right, of the range. And then it gives you the quality of the range, 100. That's a fantastic quality. It gives you the long grade, A+. That's a fantastic quality. And then, but right now, what it's reading right here, the long quality, this is current market. So it's telling you right now, without me even looking here, I know Tesla is higher because of what the trade bias is telling me, right? So I'll go like this and boom. It's telling you automatically what's happening. It's also telling you the state, so there's no active trade. The session, it's out of session right now because this is only measuring when the market is in session. So anyways, that's going to be about it. If you have any other questions, please feel free to drop me a note down in the comment box. And then, again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video, and don't be afraid to share it. And have a safe trading day, and watch out for the FOMC minutes at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock Eastern time. If I don't see everybody in the trade room, I will see you.